Yo, hello, what's up, guys? It's been a minute. I know. Been gone for a minute, man. What? Same old, same old. We have about a couple sets lined up. 24 now. Yeah, it's just sweet. Right, have a wife that won't smash her routine up, right? Have a big ass stomach. Have take blood pressure medications, right? Be in significant debt. They don't want to see that they have to do that, and you're out here, no debt, clean, living life, able to travel. So they don't want that to happen, right? So they try to bring you down. They attempt to bring you down. And the funny thing is, like I said, all the brothers who start posting, keep doing their thing, because those same people are either going to disappear, stop trying to bring you down when they see that doesn't affect you, or they're going to turn into support anyways. Because at the end of the day, if you're a leader, people are just going to follow what you do. Like, if you're a leader and you're consistent, you're convicted, people are just going to follow what you do anyways. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I've even had some people flip on me. They used to be my quote unquote biggest supporter. They just out of nowhere I started building a little bit more, fan base. People started being like, "Oh, what the hell?" Like they started saying some stupid shit. It's like hating and stuff like that. It happens. Right? It happens. That's why you do stuff for you. You're the only person who will live your life. No one else's. You see what I'm saying? So it is a harsh reality to realize, like deep down, genuinely, right? Some people believe humans are inherently good. From what I've seen, I believe, especially. You guys, I'm kind of iffy about this RTY tree. You see, making a higher limit, bro. It's not enough volume going towards us. But yes, on the other hand, like this, see, in capitalist society, that humans are inherently bad. They're willing to do anything to stab you in the back to get what they want. All right, I do believe it's obviously society dependent, but in a capitalist society, I strongly believe that humans are inherently bad. Just from what I've seen. All right, just from what I've seen, and just look at the medical system. It's pretty obvious, right? Or you could explore like beautiful. There's even an app that'll help you get out there. All Trails makes it easy to find top-rated hikes near you or anywhere in the world, so you can experience amazing places like this in real life. Download the #1 hiking app today and find your outfit. Yeah, like a lot of times in the comments there'll be about someone giving me gym advice or like fitness advice, or someone who doesn't post. Listen, someone who doesn't post will ask me, kind of like I'm using, kind of camera I'm using. Why the fuck do you want to know? You don't even post, right? Like you don't post videos. Oh, I'm gonna start posting. No, you're not. All right, that was like 2 years ago. You said that shit, and then you asked again. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. And you know what I'm talking about, bro. You're probably watching the video. Same people did that shit a year ago, 3 years ago. People always like to say stuff like, "Oh yeah, what kind of camera? Oh, you need to check your color grade or fix your color grade." They've never color graded in their life. They don't even know how to use cameras. They don't know how to download 4K. Like they don't know how to do anything, and they're telling you what to do. Right? Experts are always going to be in the comment section, but they're not going to be in real life. You see what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. And to make this worse, right? There's a couple of boxes that I go to, right? Like Darren Ennis. What's his name? Uh, Dang, I didn't mean to forget his name. But yeah, I was watching those videos. But anyways, people for some reason, right? The regular people never had the skin in the game. They've never stepped in the ring. They've never done anything, honestly. They've never sparred. They're not even in shape enough to walk a mile, right? I'm not talking about right now. They're not in shape enough to walk a mile. And they're commenting like, yeah, that dude's trash. He's going so bad. This is that. They all say shit like this. I posted a deadlifting video. Mind you, I've been deadlifting for years. And as far as belts, I might wear a belt if I go past 625, but belts don't work for me. I might be, cautious of how I lift if I go past 625. But if I'm below 600, it's like fucking weight. So my form, I know.
My setup here. I don't like just wiggle rejection. I want a deeper wiggle rejection. So I know. We actually like this area, but yeah, I'm actually tired, so I don't want to play. We're gonna try to recover these seawalls. So,
That's what I'm doing. People be like, oh, yeah, he didn't know he was doing O's and Snapchat, or do like stuff like that. They've never actually done, right? They've never actually deadlifted anything above like 300, 200. They probably don't even step to the gym, right? Another thing is the people who always say stuff about like, you know, dating advice and stuff like that. Listen, one of the things I am very wary of what I listen to, because I only listen to my homeboys, right? Shout out to my client. He's one of my homeboys. Back in the day, I listened to what he said about dating, right? I listened to what other people, a few other people say about dating. I listen to my experience. I'm not listening to any of the goofies who just making shit up, right? Or just making shit up. So many people are just making shit up when it comes to the house. No, bro. Man, listen, man. Like, you have to be 6'10", you have to know the first year thing, you have to, make 7 million a year. Like, I'm not listening to any of the dudes who don't touch reps. All right, we spend so much time on the internet. That is the majority of men these days. Like these NPCs are getting out of hand, guys. And when you start living and having success, the main reason I'll tell you this, the main reason if you start living and having success, let's just say you're making more money, you have less debt than you used to, and all your friends, you're leaner than all your friends are like 28% body fat, you're 15. I mean, you're attracting more women than they are. Like you attracted 5 women in the past year, which is actually a lot for most people, and they attracted none. They're gonna start hating on you. But the only reason they're hating on you, to be honest, if we look at it at face value, is you're doing and they're not. That's the reality of it. I didn't even say that you became the richest man on earth, the leanest man on earth. I'm just saying you're doing and they're not. When you spend so much time analyzing, you spend less time doing. And that's what people do. People are conversations commenting, but they're also analyzing what they're gonna do and never actually doing. It's the analysis paralysis paradox, right? And it's funny because
Is there a collaboration that you guys remember that came about because someone slid into your DMs?
people will tell me, hey man, I think people who want to grow on YouTube or Instagram be like, yes, it's saturated, man, I can't do it. Yeah, I want it to be an online coach, but it's desaturated. What are you talking to, bro? There was specifically in online fitness coaching, there is no online fitness coaches, legitimately. When I say no online fitness coach, I'm talking about someone who coaches every day for a year and who has 15 plus clients for a year straight. That's just like it is what it is. You'll see the top people, they hungry. They do whatever. Like, if they're so consistent, they're so long, they probably think that's the problem. Like, well, I'm probably the same thing. But the majority of people are getting 3 clients here and then no clients. And then they come back 2 years later during January and they have 3 clients and they quit again. Like, it's not saturated. Same thing for YouTube. No, nobody posts every day. Let's believe if you are lean and you have some body game stories and you face, some of the stuff that I talk about, I will watch every one of your videos. The issue is you don't post enough to even show them out. All right, it is what it is. And by the way, when I say I will watch videos, everybody can watch your videos. Everybody can watch your videos. They'll be like, yo, this dude's story is crazy. The problem is, like I said, you don't post enough to even show up. Like you posted once a month for 6 months and you said it was too hard. post every day for a year minimum. You know what I mean? Like, because then if I find your videos, I'm like, yo, this is lit, bro. It's oh man, hey, I can get my workout session done. I can do some cleaning around the house. I can do some other tasks. I could do some budgeting all while listening to these new videos since I never heard of you. That's what I can do. But it's like nobody posts enough, right? Everyone's an expert. No one has receipts because nobody puts enough fucking work. And listen, I'm gonna keep saying this shit. The internet made this shit worse. Though. It was never the bad. In high school, it was like you got roasted. You know what I mean? Um, you said something back, the bully might punch you, you punch him back, or whatever. It's some face to face shit. It is what it is. And then you go home and you forget about that shit. Now it's like, listen, these anonymous accounts and shit, no accomplishments. They're always trying to bring you down, right? And instead of spending a day working on themselves, they spend a day trying to tear you down. So just remember that all of you guys starting to go, all of you guys getting a game. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Now, the comments and comment sections will be way more negative than in real life. In real life, they'll just give you like some negative compliments, like, "Yeah, man, yeah, you look great. You look great for your age, I guess. When I was your age, I was that. I was bodybuilding this that." And then they show you a picture and they look like shit, right? Or they just have a picture. I can't find it because they always say shit like that. Yo, when I was your age, how much you bench? Yeah, when I was your age, I bench 400 kilograms. They always say some shit like that, bro. They always say some shit like that just to make themselves feel better in the situation because they're intimidated by you. You know what I mean? But that is a negative compliment. You have to acknowledge the negativity that happens. All right. And then I'll have some people in the comment section saying like, "That's not negative. This is no, that's negative shit." All right. That's some hating that shit. Because best believe I don't ever remember going up to somebody and asking them, "Oh, how much you bench?" Oh yeah, I do this to my little brother just small. But I'm literally only joking. But I never go to someone and be like, "Oh, yo, when I was your age, I bench this much, you bench this." Like, I never do this to passion to feel better than, right? Because that would mean that I'm insecure in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, actual successful people, and this is what you need to know. You need to look up the people who actually inspire you. All right. So, for me personally, that list is extremely tiny. Like, I really don't watch that many YouTube videos. Because like I said, I specifically don't look at a lot of Instagram stuff. Instagram and like TikTok. A lot of Instagram, TikTok stuff is just like a bunch of like scam shit and lame shit that I do not care about. Some materialistic shit, some shit about like, oh, this chick here. I just don't care, man. But I will watch some YouTubers because the way they think about life does inspire me and interest me. And I guarantee those YouTubers have never ever posted a comment like a negative comment in any conversation at all because in general, people who are grinding and successful, right? Like one of the people I look up to the most, Jeff Logan, right? Jeff Logan will never ever put a negative comment in someone's conversation because he's running businesses, he's training, he's locked in, he's leveling up. When you're leveling up, you can't have negative and positive energy simultaneously consistently. So if you level up, you're usually in a positive state, focused state. You can't simultaneously do that and be fixated on other people and trying to bring them down. Like you can't simultaneously build while trying to bring other people down. It's too much energy. You only have so much energy. You only have so much mental bandwidth. So realistically, the reason my circle is small and the people in my circle are locked in is because if they do comment some positive shit because they're too busy running businesses, training, grinding, getting as many as possible, right? Meal prepping, reading, creating, improving, right? Fine tuning systems. Because the loudest critics are the empty schedules. All right, that's that's the reality of it. They got the empty schedules. All right, like I said, hating is a full time job, and motherfuckers have empty schedules and they're unemployed.
Like, wow. So I've been getting my lecture done this hour in like 10th grade. What I feel like makes me sometimes in the game, someone pokes me in the eye and they like come off. So I have like one last one without. Tell them how much.
Here for the conference?
Yeah.
Big turnout this year, huh?
Yep. Big turnout this year. Agreed.
So guess what they're doing? They're hating all day. All right. So every time you You make other people insecure because you are living proof that change is possible, which is very intimidating to most people because when you're in a victim mindset, like majority of people are back to the 97% of drifters, like or 98% of drifters that William Duff talks about. Most people when they're in victim mindset, the reason they're not lean and financially stable and they can't travel and they can't do this, they can't do that, is because they're a victim and bad things happen to you. Right? That's how they're thinking. But when you get lean, you are proof that we are not victims. We control our destiny. Right? So you make them insecure because they're like, damn, change is possible. I don't like being reminded of reality, right? They want to stay in the matrix. They don't want to be reminded that they lock in, they can actually change. When you change in front of them, for example, this is why specifically friends be hating a lot. If you like have a friend circle that you've been with for a while, we just give you an example. So let's say you have a friend circle you've been with for a while, you got to go out to the club, and then you guys get hoes, and then you guys need to like bond together afterwards. You like trauma bond, like, yeah, man, this is shit anyway, man. It's good here, man. You guys are all 25 to 30% body fat. You guys all have at least negative 10,000 in debt, which is very common. You guys are all buying like the newest Jordans and trying to like impress at the club and overcompensate, right? Let's say that you just lock in one day, right? And then 6 months later, obviously your friend group is the same people, they're in the same place, but you're not 25% body, but now you're at 12%, which is crazy. Like in real life, Dex at 12% is like you're pretty much in the top 2%. 10% you're like 10% you're at the like top 1% to be honest, like in real life. But anyways, let's say you got that 12% body fat, you paid off your debt, you stacking a little bit of bread, right? Now you go out with your friends and you're getting a lot of attention from this girl, right? So they're trying to kind of downplay it, like, nah, bro, listen. I know she's looking at you, but if they don't got friends for it, then don't even go with it. Or like, she only looking at you because you got different shit than we do, like that kind of thing. They start downplaying success, right? But since you guys were all in the same situation and now you've leveled up, that makes all their excuses fall apart. Because then they start asking you, like, hey, how'd you get that lean? You start saying, like, oh, man, I started meal prep. I stopped eating out. They're like, dang, I don't have time for that. But clearly, since you guys always hang out together and you guys have the same schedule, you guys work at the same place, they do have time for that. They're just not prioritizing. You see what I'm saying? That's also another reason why it's very hard for you to make friends when you level up because in reality, it's like the excuses people make are just it's such bullshit. But as you level up more, it's like you don't even want to listen to the shit because it's obviously a lie. It's like, oh yeah, man, I couldn't eat healthy because I was strapped for time. Or yeah, man, I didn't have enough money to eat healthy. As if potato, bananas are some of the cheapest foods in the grocery store, like the highest value foods in the grocery store. Because realistically, like if you're actually super broke, just drink water, of course, eat Greek yogurt, ramen noodles, and like potatoes and bananas. All right. Now I know that sounds low protein, but if you're in a deficit, you're still gonna lose fat. It is what it is. You're still gonna lose fat. All right. You got motherfuckers in jail making more progress than you eating, white bread and apples. It's really just excuses. All right. The thing is, people they always say, "Oh yeah, man, it's good genetics, it's the algorithm." They never want to admit that they could have done more. And when you are constantly in their face and you are doing more and you are getting more, you are indirectly shitting on their excuses, which is their mindset, which is their way of life, which is basically their identity. All right. Because a lot of people are addicted to their problems. So if you are showing a solution to the problem, you're basically saying that they're not trying enough or trying hard enough to solve the problems, which they're not, but they don't want to know that because they want to live in this comfort zone. And you're basically forcing them out.
This is a pretty clean setup. Look what he says. It's like it's alright. So I'm not really tripping that much. It makes some more sense. Yeah, clean setup, honestly. Clean setup. Okay, right here. Straight move towards zone. Nice reaction. Once this hits, we recover our counts, and then we log in for the next couple days.
Comfort zone every time you're around them. That's why you're gonna lose friends when you level up. It is what it is, guys. All right. Most criticism that you get, by the way, you have to know this. All right. It's very important to know this shit. Most criticism that you personally get, it is not about you. It's not personal. Which, based on what I said, you're probably like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? How is it not personal? When somebody is like criticizing you, it's about what you remind them of. All right, you remind them of all the books that they didn't read, all the books that they skipped. Because I'll tell you this: I've been on a lot of strategy calls. I talked to a lot of people, obviously, and usually they have all these books, but like they have like 30 books, and I'm like, oh yeah, those are all the good 30 personal self development books. Like you only have to read half of one of them, like real shit, and you'll be fine. But I'll give you the day off if you can prove to me you know your finances. Absolutely, I'll do that. How many subscriptions are you paying for? Every time, like they see you when you're kind of leveling up, they're like, "Yo, what's the secret?" And you kind of tell them like, "Yeah, man, I've been reading Compound Effect. I've been lifting. I've been eating healthy." You remind them of all the workouts they skipped, all the time they skipped reading, business they never started, the opportunities they procrastinated on, all the times they ate out instead of eating, all the times they meal prep but still bought Chick-fil-A. Right? You become a mirror, and people don't like what they see. Right? They don't always like what they see. And I'm gonna spin back to that because application is huge, man. The analysis paralysis epidemic wearing it is ridiculous. Um, it's at this point, it's like you're a consumer producer for real. There's literally no in between. You're progressing or you're regressing badly. There is no in between right now. And as far as self help books, I'm not gonna be for or against it entirely. I'm just gonna say it's great to read self help books to keep you locked in. However, to like make a life change, you really need half of one. If you apply half of one of the self-help books that you read, your life is already changing so significantly. But then obviously you're going to finish it and keep reading more to keep your mind in that state that you need to be in. But by the time you're halfway through any self-help book, you should already be like, your life should already be like, if you read half of Think and Grow Rich, your finances should be getting, your physique should be getting better, your eating habits should be getting better, your health should be getting better, your spiritual life should be getting better, your mindset should be getting better, right? You should be more aware. Off of it, half of Outward and Dope, same thing. Half of Compound Effect, same thing. Any of these books, like if you read half of them, you should be changing. If you're not, then you're not applying it. And that's why you're stuck where you are. Because people will ask me a stupid question like, yeah, man, like, how do you stay consistent? I'm like, oh, yeah, man, like, just start reading the Compound Effect and really locking them. Like, oh, I already read that book 3 times. Like, no, you didn't. There's no way you did, right? Reading without application, you might as well just throw the book away. It's a waste of fucking time. All right. I call that beating your meat. All right. That's when people say self improvement is masturbation. It's when you guys watch a bunch of videos and do absolutely fucking nothing, as opposed to watching 1 minute of one video, hearing something and be like, okay, bet. I remember listening to One Les Brown. By the way, I didn't even finish it, but I listened to One Les Brown speech and he was like, "It's not over until I win." I was like, "Bet." Well, that's all I needed. Listen to some of David Goggins. His book Can't Hurt Me. He was talking about like, yeah, man, you know, he was his childhood was rough. That's all I needed to hear. And he was talking about running long distances was like broken bones. I was like, okay, I'm good. I need to lock in. That's all I needed. For a lot of you guys, you're never gonna do anything no matter how much you hear. And those people, those spectators, those NPCs, those consumers, that's the people that are hating on you, the people who will never take action. So if you think about it, is it not weird that the people who will never achieve the dreams that you want because they'll never take the actions that you want are the people holding you back from taking the actions that you want to live the dream lifestyle that you want? That's what I had to realize. I was like, dude, so you're telling me that this whole time I was scared to post or scared to pivot my content or scared to be more straightforward with my content or scared to live my life, you feel me? Was because of this out of shape dude who's in a marriage he hates, who's in crippling debt, and who will never make a change, and who doesn't even shower daily, who doesn't even like fit in a black tee with a shoulder waist ratio.
Guys, it's really a battle between buyers and sellers, bro. I'm just going to my bed and close my eyes, bro. I'm tired. But I'll be checking the photo straight.
Who's fast? And his comments were holding me back. Crazy shit of all time. It's the craziest shit of all time. So you have to realize, yeah, you can live the life that you want, but if you let majority of people, which is this demographic I'm talking about, these demographic. It's easy. If you let these people hold you back, oh yeah, you know, right? If you let what they're saying hold you back, they're not getting more. And this, like I said, people wouldn't look at twice. That's what they want to do. I thought you listen to me, but you know, I haven't seen the perfect. Like, hey man, you need to do this. They try to like say stuff or whatever. Say yeah, cool, cool, cool. But they kind of sometimes they want to throw like, yeah, you good too. I didn't see anything. They just kind of want to feel good because, like I said, people see the best of that and best of least, you can feel hate first too. You can feel the hate first. Like if you when you got that clean ass like and you win and get this I mean it gets if you're at peace and all the chicks are looking at you, you'll see random dudes be like, hey, I heard this one dude, I guess he went to like ABC or some shit like that. And then he was still like 50 years old, right? And I'm telling you right now, he tried to test you and he went to school over here. And he was like, hey, you, can you those this like a 4 year test? I think that mother not her. Like he's trying to act like he doesn't know, like no, we're not. It's realistic, right? Respectfully, we're not saying no more. Respectfully, but I think what Panic, but I think where he said, I forgot where he says it, long ass and shit. Like one of the worst things you see right now, how he's like one of the conversations he's just you do too. He's just trying to like start a conversation because he's seen who really what things. Like the opposite catch of the Panic, but then like this girl like scared of me, right? And I think what becomes he used to have people shirts before he went to be able to take out the gym type shit. And he was trying to like act like he knew me. I was like, what is that? Like, and it's just a weird hate. And there's another type of hate that you'll get where dudes, because obviously men have an ego. They don't want to be like, they don't want you to train them a lot of the time. But dude will say stuff like, I agree with you about It's just and stuff like that. I don't agree with you about like I can drink watching. I still agree. They kind of want my validation, then they kind of like hate at the same time. And I'm kind of just using facts like, yeah, it's not gonna drink it. That's your that's the beer. You know what I mean? So you look at a lot of dudes. It's a very concept. If you're a trainer, like dudes will want your advice, but they think that asking for help means that you're better than them. But in reality, us as trainers have trainers too, right? Us as trainers have coaches. You know what I mean? Like when I go to my boxing coach or when I talk to my friend who's an IFBB pro coach, well, three of them are IFBB pros. So when I talk to them, I am all ears, bro, because I know I don't know what the fuck I'm doing compared to them, bro. I don't know anything in those arenas, so I'm gonna listen to what they say. I'm like, yo, I did a refeed, and then this and that from what I've done and what I've seen, that usually works. And they'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. But you want to do it when this blah blah blah, but not when that blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because when I was doing it like this versus doing it like that, it worked better like that kind of thing, right? I'm gonna be all ears in that situation. All right. But yeah, you'll get a lot of people who want to be where you are, but they don't want to ask you because they feel like that means they're lesser than, so they'll just hate on you instead, which is just some weird projection type shit, right? But like, listen, if you start making, I'm not saying making millions and like, you know, I'm not saying making millions and buying like 30 Lamborghinis or some shit. But if you start having a little bit more financial freedom, right? People are gonna be like, "Oh man, you're doing too much. You're arrogant." You start saying no to people when they're like, "Hey, you trying to come out to the party?" You're like, "Nah, I'm going to sleep early. I'm not trying to eat that shit either." They'll call you arrogant. You're just looking out for your health. And you have to realize if someone says that you're arrogant, you're weird, you're lame, you're obsessed, you're doing too much, when all the things that you're doing are in your best interest, then if those things were even true, it would be better in that situation to be arrogant, to be a lame, to be, obsessed. It would be better anyways, right? But that's just their perception of you based on, you know, you not doing the low level shit that they're doing, in all honesty. So here's the thing. People want extraordinary results, but you have to break down the word extraordinary, all right? Extra and ordinary. Ordinary motherfuckers do ordinary shit. So when you're extraordinary, you do extra shit to the ordinary person. You know what I mean? You tracking your calories is already extra, but you using a scale, they're like, yo, you doing too much, that's extra. That's why they're not on the same level as you. And that's what you realize when you start to level up too. It's like, hey man, you post every day, you can take a day off or whatever, man. No reason to post every day. That's overkill, man. You talk about the same thing. Yeah. I'm obsessed, bro. I'm locked in. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, like, even if you talk about the same thing, it's like people struggle with the same shit. Not every day, not every year, but every millennia, bro. Look at you can read any old ass text. The oldest text out there is all the same shit. You can listen to Jim Rohn. You can listen to someone in the 20s. You can listen to someone in the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, before Christ, after Christ. It doesn't matter. You can listen to any of that stuff. It's the same shit over and over. Everybody's struggling with the seven deadly sins. Everybody's a fucking hater, bro. The Cain and Abel shit is real. Abel was on body game. Cain had no motion, bro. It is what it is. All right, fellas. So today we have a reaction video. We're going to be talking about, and this is super important for a lot of guys because I see a lot of guys deal with a lot of disrespect, and a lot of you guys need Grammy awards for the amount of disrespect you deal with. I see a lot of it, and I mean a lot. You deal with a lot of disrespect in the moment. This is exactly what I found out, what I learned that helped me stop chasing, right? But it's very, very important to understand the concept behind this. So we're going to get into it, right? It's a reaction video. It's a couple of videos I found on TikTok that really resonate with exactly how I feel. But like I said, it's going to change your entire aspect on the whole concept of chasing and stuff like that. And I know there's a lot of people out there who say things like game matters, this is that. To some extent, of course, but when a woman does not want you, she's not attracted to you. It is not how much game you have. You have to remember that you want to deal with people who want to deal with you in the first place. That is like the basis of a lot of things. And that's where outcome independence comes from. That's where you respecting yourself through the fitness journey comes from. Those two things are extremely important off of it because they're going to teach you how to become a person who is more able to realize when someone's disrespecting them and able to love themselves to the point where they no longer need company as bad, so they won't deal with this disrespect. Like I said, I see a lot of people in divorces, marriages, relationships, situationships where they're getting chronically disrespected, just absolute disrespect on a daily basis. And they just deal with it not knowing what the other side is like. Because I will tell you this, whether it took you getting on body game, getting clout, whatever it took you to finally experience genuine desire, once you experience it, things are going to change significantly because you can never go back to that disrespect. Once I had a chick, drive to me, buy groceries for me, cook in front of me because I like fresh homemade food. You know what I mean? Cooked it just how I like it. She cooked me dinner, breakfast the next morning. She took care of me. She gave me a massage, everything. Like once she did that for me, she drove like 2.5 hours. That's when I started to realize, like, listen, all this time I'm chasing these other chicks that are saying this and saying that. A chick might be 30 minutes away. She might say it's too far. Yet this one chick drove 2.5 hours and gave me the king treatment. Once you get that king treatment, you start to realize this is how women operate when they're different things they're attracted to. Like a lot of you guys have experienced that. They don't know what I'm talking about. But experience. I do not talk. I don't talk just random semantics and stuff like that. I talk from experience. Anyways, let's get right into the review videos.
Need help scaling your business? You need Upwork. With Upwork, you can find and hire freelancers.
Please remember this. If she really likes you, you do not have to go full.
Never has to take me on a date, but every single time.
And you have a good Instagram, you will know what I'm talking about, right? When we reach out to you all the freaking time. And if you DM a chick, no matter what you say, she's gonna respond. I remember I posted some screenshots of like some DMs in my on my YouTube community post. And obviously, dudes who get no play, dudes who don't touch grass, dudes who swear that you have to spit game and shit like that, dudes who had no profile picture were saying stuff like, "Oh my gosh, that's so funny, you have no game." It's like, bro, she's already in the bag. It doesn't matter what I say. Like people don't understand that shit. It doesn't matter what you say. She's already interested. Because like I always tell you guys, you guys need to listen to this. If Chris Brown says, "Hey, beautiful" to a woman, it's game. If a fat, out of shape dude like one of you guys says, "Hey, beautiful" to a woman, it's not game. It's creepy. It is that simple, right? It is that simple. People don't understand that shit. All right. And another thing is like once you're if you got motion on Instagram, like I said, me and my homeboys got motion on Instagram. So my homeboys had the craziest stories. One of them during the Super Bowl party. During the Super Bowl, these three chicks flew out and he had a Super Bowl party. He's matched all three of them. It was crazy. It was crazy. He has crazy, crazy stories. So I know you guys hear my story, but his story was crazy. I had another homeboy.
Oh boy, CP's got smacked. I was not dealing with that edge, bro. But yeah. Perfect TP. 20 pounds 3. I would usually go for 1 to 3. Look at that edge, bro. Perfect ass TP, bro. Yeah, fuck no. I wasn't having that, bro. Alright. Mm, size your artistry. No, I don't need. I'm gonna wake up and turn it 3. No, back. Alright, boys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch up in the next.